Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Snippy Joker, and on today's episode we are going over some tips and tricks for Penny Parker. Now before we go into the tips and tricks, let's go over some of her basic moves and abilities that she has in her arsenal. First, her main attack. Her main attack is you're firing out projectiles from the cannons on each arm. Now these do go to a good amount of distance, maybe 15-20 meters. And they're unlimited ammo. The only downside to this is they may not do as much damage to take down an enemy in time, but will do enough damage for your teammates to take down the enemy and basically support them from a distance. Now her first ability is pretty cool. It allows you to attach a web to a wall or floor. And so that if you go out a certain distance, let's say you're going around a corner, if you go too far, it will retract you back to a safe spot. And you can detach it by just hitting the circle button, the same button that allows you to attach in the first place. Her next ability is mines. Now you can place up to 4 mines at once in a specific area or at a distance. And those mines will basically detect an enemy and explode when they pass it. Now, I noticed that you can put up to 4 at once before a cooldown happens. However, I had almost up to 8 mines in one area without seeing any despawn from your other mines. So there may be a possibility that you can have almost unlimited mines surrounding Penny at any moment's time. You just have to wait for them to respawn. Her next ability is probably her most famous ability and the best ability for Penny. I usually call it the home base. And what it does is you put it down in an area, you place it, and then a giant web of effect comes out. Now this puts out what I call spider bots that will attack enemies that enter it, kind of like it's like your home base, but also give health to yourself, Penny Parker, and your allies. And if you have full health that you see here, it'll go above that and give Penny extra health to help survive in that area. And lastly, you have the ability to shoot out a nano net, let's call it that, or a spider net, that can do a couple of things. One, it could stun an enemy, it can take flyers out of the air, or you can put it on the ground to, again, give Penny health, extend your web or your nano web that comes from the home base, and pretty much, work to your advantage to extend it so that your spider bots can go further out. Now those are her abilities, her moves. Oh, and she can also run up walls, which is cool when you want to try and get away or jump from the air to get down to another area, or dodge an enemy or try and get a flyer. Now some tips and tricks. The first thing I noticed, now I've never played Penny that much. I've maybe played her in the beta. This may be the 3rd time I've played Penny. That home base is very powerful and is very useful. So you don't want to put it in an area where you get easily destroyed by the enemy. In this typical gameplay here, I was trying to put it away from where enemies come in and kind of behind one of those little panels there to keep it out of enemies' line of sight and line of fire. Because again, if they enter this field in domination, you can see there the Thor trying to take it out because he knows, everyone knows you got to take that out because it's the biggest nuisance ever. In domination, you want to pretty much use it in an area so that you can get that health benefit, so you can heal over time. Your allies can get that health benefit, but on top of that, you're defending the area from enemies coming in, because as soon as they hit that web, I don't know how many times I've hit that web, even just the slightest touch of hitting that web, your enemies are taking damage over time. It is probably the most effective defense a character has, a tank has. Now, Penny is not a solo tank. She can be a good defensive tank, but she's not a solo tank because you have to be standing in place. Meaning that you're basically using that home base as like your standing point, like you're hunkering down in that area. You're not going in, you're not taking the front line, you're hunkering down from either a distance or from around the corner. You are basically a turret. You're a shooting turret, you're going to stay in place, you're not a solo tank, so it's best to use her with another tank or pretty much with a Strange or a Magneto or another tank that can handle the front line and use that kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty much a distraction from another tank in order to use Penny, because once enemies see Penny, they know to A, go for her home base, and B, take her down as quickly as possible. Now, the other tip and trick I've learned is her netting. You know, like I said with her netting, you can use the detach or the attach the webbing that sticks to a wall or surface that can basically pull Penny back if she goes too far. And now I use this in certain areas where I want to pretty much, if I'm getting into trouble, pull back around a corner or pull back to the area of her webbing so that she gets those health benefits. This can backfire if an enemy comes around the corner and you're trying to get away and forget to detach, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to pull away from the enemy trying to attack you, forget to detach and pull back right into the enemy and they take you out. So use that wisely. Her netting that you fire out, I use mostly to kind of stun enemies. Like in this scenario here, I believe a Thor or a Hulk, someone comes out to try and get me, and I stun them as soon as they're either near or on my webbing to try and stop them from A, attacking me, attacking the home base so they get that extra damage, and so I can do the extra damage with my laser cannons. Or the other thing I was trying to do, which can be a little trickier, is to take out flyers. Because I took out an Iron Man by shooting with the webbing, because once you get hit with that webbing, flyers can't fly anymore and they go down. Now, most of the time I didn't take them out, but I did enough damage to them where they had to fly away or my enemy team took them out. Lastly, the mines. Like I said, you can have as many mines as you want. I mean, I had up to 8 at one time, and I put them all around, not only within my webbing, but all around my webbing. So that if an enemy tried to come in and take out my home base, they're going to get hit by my spider bots, but also my mines. You can also place them in random spots, behind doorways, you know, that when an enemy comes through, or through windows where enemies jump through to take them out. So use those mines non-stop, as much as you want, until they patch it where you have a limit of probably 4 or 5. Now, I forgot to mention her ult. Her ult is very cool. It puts her in like this super mode where you're rushing forward with netting coming out behind you. Now, be advised that this netting will disappear when your ult is done, but pretty much that netting, and you could A, extend your webbing from your home base, which is probably a good idea, and B, it's going to place out spider bots. Now, you can use the right trigger on a PlayStation 5 controller to push enemies in the air like I'm doing here. I'm bouncing the venom around and then taking them out. Or B, place more mines or spider bots to do damage over time. And this is very useful. However, if you're a low health or pretty much at a health that you could pretty much die in a little bit, you will be taken out. So use it around your netting, because yes, you are getting health from it, but use it on your home base. Extend it. Get that extra health bonus. Use it when you're at full health, or at bonus health as well, to take out enemies that are near you. Now, let me know what you think of Peni Parker. Are you her main? Do you like her? Do you hate her? Let me know your favorite DPS or tank player. Let me know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation. Sub to help me grow. Like the channel so YouTube likes me. And of course, go check out my other channel, Snippy Joker Shorts. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Please follow me on there. I thank you all for watching. Appreciate the love and support, and I hope to see you on the next one.